Hi, I'm Leslie Rohonczy. Welcome to Song Stories. This week I'm featuring a song called Dear Me. And this is, it sounds funny to say, but this is a love song that I wrote to myself. It's actually a coaching practice where a client would write a letter to themselves at different stages in their lives, telling yourself what you most needed to hear in that moment. If you could go back in time, what would you say that you would most want to hear in that moment? So I thought, I could write letters to myself. I'd rather write a song for myself because I'm a songwriter. So this is how Dear Me came about. The first verse in Dear Me, I'm reading from my little songbook here. Dear me, wish I could travel back in time. I'd have so much to tell you, like you're gonna be fine. Cradle you and whisper in your tiny ear, you are loved. Yes, you are loved, my dear. You may or may not know that I'm adopted. And obviously I don't have a memory of that time, but I picture myself leaning over and whispering in my ear as a baby, you're gonna be fine, wait till you get a load of what's coming your way. The second verse, Dear me, I would have warned you about them. Girls can be cruel, even when we call them friends. Don't lose yourself just to fit their mold. You're gonna miss that girl when you are old. There's a joyousness in being a child. And that kind of gets drilled out of us as we move into that conformist stage in our development. We strive so hard to fit in, to become like the cool kids and trying not to get beat up at lunch. We lose a big piece of that authenticity that we have as younger kids. And that spontaneity and that freedom, where did that girl go? The chorus is, Dear me, I hope somehow you can hear me. No one loves you more than dear me. You're just where you should be. Godspeed, my dear, dear me. The third verse is, Dear me, I see you striving to climb a self-made mountain. Relax, you're doing fine. I say self-made because it's that real kind of achievist mode that we get into. Bigger, higher, faster, chasing titles, chasing money. And we get into that sort of race for the next thing without really understanding, is this what's making us happy? And you kind of get to a point where you go, you know what? I got the title, I got the office, I got the big house, I got the car, and still there's a longing. The next verse really focuses on kind of where I'm at right now in my life. And it says, Dear me, the years haven't all been kind, but when you look back, I know you will find you cared enough to build a better world and a lifetime of love for this little girl, referring back to the baby in the crib. At this stage, the years haven't all been kind. We've gone through a lot of struggles. We've been completely destroyed at times, and we've been completely on top of a mountain. And so I feel so blessed at this point in my life to be able to grow and have experiences that may not have been super comfortable at the time, but have allowed me to build some muscles that I'm super grateful for. In a small way, I'm helping to build a better world by helping people to embrace, their fullest potential and to be really compassionate with themselves and with each other. And it feels really good. The last verse, I'm kind of projecting into the future on this one. Dear me, on your final day, don't think about the twilight. I hope you're not afraid. I'm not actually. This is gratitude. Whew. When life is over, as you face the dusk, ashes to ashes, darling, dust to dust. This is a really amazing coaching practice, to sit and write yourself a love letter. What is it that you most wanted to hear when you were a kid? If you could go back and tell your younger self that, what would it be? What would you tell your teenage self to help guide you, to help settle you, to help you feel enough? And then that young adult, what is the message that your young adult most needed to hear? Maybe you're writing a letter to your future self, whether that's middle age or as a senior. What is it that you hope you don't lose over time? What would you most like to tell yourself on your dying day? So take some time and journal on these. Send yourself some love. For the production notes on Dear Me, it's a really simple arrangement. It's not one of those ones that we throw all kinds of production on, because this is what it really needed to be. It just starts off with an acoustic piano that I'm playing, and that goes through the intro in the first verse. And in verse 2, the ever-talented Scott Walsh came in with a beautiful acoustic guitar. And then in the chorus, Chris Hoole pops in with the drums. Again, it's a very simple arrangement, which is exactly what was serving the song. I also added a flute and percussion. In verse 3, we add some nice subtle strings, and there's a beautiful little cello part that just gives it all kinds of beautiful body. And in verse 4 as well. And then the last verse, the band drops right out, and we're left with just the vocal ooze. And I'm singing 3-part harmony in there, but Scott, he's got a beautiful baritone voice, and he's added this really low baritone note in the ooze, and then he just drops down, right down into the basement. I don't know what this note is, but it's just gorgeous. It's my favorite note in the whole song. And it just gives it that really ethereal sort of feel, because in this verse, I'm talking to my future self on my deathbed. So here's Dear Me. I hope you enjoy this song, and I hope you try the practice. Give it a listen, leave me a comment below, and share with your circle. Thanks.
Wish I could travel back in time. I'd have so much to tell you, like you're gonna be fine. Cradle you and whisper in your tiny ear, you are loved, yes, you are loved, my dear, dear me. I would have warned you about them. Girls can be cruel, even when we call them friends. Don't lose yourself just to fit their mold. You're gonna miss that girl when you are old. Dear me, I hope somehow you can hear me. No one loves you more than dear me. You're just where you should be. Godspeed, my dear. See you striving to climb a self-made mountain. Relax, you're doing fine. Bigger, higher, faster may pay your rent, but learn to love yourself when the money's all spent. Dear me, the years haven't all been kind, but when you look back, I know you will find cared enough to build a better world and a lifetime of love for this little girl. Dear me, I hope somehow you can hear me. No one loves you more than dear me. You're just where you should be. Godspeed, my dear, dear me. On your final day, don't think about the twilight. I hope you're not afraid. One life is over as you face the dusk. Oh, ashes to ashes, darling, dust to dust.